Right. So we've got this fascinating stack of news stories and reports you've pulled together, all from just one 12-hour period in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And our mission here for this deep dive is really to unpack these, see what gems we can find, and piece together a picture of what's actually going on in the city. We're covering quite a range: public safety, infrastructure, those persistent challenges, but also culture, community life, the real heartbeat stuff. So, what's the takeaway?
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it. What's really striking, I think, is how this short snapshot reveals, well, not just the headlines, but the deeper things. Resilience, growth, that cultural dynamism. It shows Chiang Mai as this, multifaceted urban ecosystem. It's like putting a magnifying glass right on the city's pulse. You see the gears turning.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. Some pretty immediate, impactful news landed in that window, starting with something quite stark. A deadly shootout in Fang District. Now, the reports talk about a late-night police raid. It escalated, a gun battle, and 4 suspected drug traffickers were killed. That immediately raises, well, serious border security flags, doesn't it?
It does. And while it's localized to Fang District, geographically, its implications are wider. It really points to those trafficking routes, the regional instability, particularly in this part of the Golden Triangle. It's a constant challenge for the authorities there.
Stark reminder, yeah.
Definitely. It shows those broader security dynamics cities near borders constantly grapple with. And speaking of immediate impacts, nature was making itself felt too. We saw reports of heavy rain triggering runoff alerts and national park closures over 118 millimeters in places like Mary Rim, Sommer.
Wow, 118 mils. That's significant.
It is. That's nearly 5 inches, right?
Yeah.
In a short time. Enough to trigger those yellow level alerts, which is basically a heads up for residents, potential flash floods, landslides. It even led to closures at popular spots like Obkhan and Marisaw waterfalls. So real practical safety implications.
And then, just as the rain eases off, the earth decides to join in.
Yeah.
We also saw reports of earthquake tremors cracking hospital walls. Minor cracks, apparently, in the walls at Maharaj Nakorn Chiang Mai Hospital. This was from that recent quake over in Myanmar. Thankfully, no injuries reported, which is the main thing. But safety inspections are definitely happening now.
Right. And these two things, the rain and the tremors, they seem separate, but together they really highlight the environmental reality there. It underscores the need for constant vigilance, Preparedness and resilience are key in a region like that. And if you look at the forecast that was issued during that window, for the next 12 hours, it was continued overcast skies, scattered light showers, mild temps, maybe 29 Celsius, but crucially, that caution for runoff remained. It tells you nature isn't just a news item, it's a constant background factor in daily life.
That resilience you mentioned, it really is striking, especially when you think about some of the bigger ongoing challenges the city faces, which makes me wonder, how do these immediate things shape the long-term view? Especially things like major infrastructure projects. Because later in that 12-hour window, the focus shifted. We saw reports highlighting the light rail project still held up. Chiang Mai's been waiting for this light rail system for a long time. Now it looks unlikely to start running by 2027. Funding's uncertain. Construction hasn't even started. What does a delay like that really mean for a growing city like Chiang Mai?
That's a really critical question. I mean, beyond the obvious traffic headaches, right? These kinds of infrastructure delays often point to deeper issues, bureaucratic hurdles, maybe funding problems. And these can have ripple effects. It's not just about commute times. It impacts how the city grows, transport efficiency, just the daily lives of everyone who depends on the city modernizing. And, ongoing uncertainty like this, it could potentially make investors look elsewhere. Maybe other Southeast Asian cities seem more ready. It could affect Chiang Mai's competitiveness for years. It makes you wonder, what are the unseen forces holding up such a major project?
It really does make you think about those wider ripples. But okay, it wasn't all challenges and delays in those 12 hours. As the day wore on, a different side of Chiang Mai definitely came through. More about community, creativity. Some quite uplifting stuff, actually. Like Chiang Mai places 3rd in National Photo Shoot Award. This was Ansaya Pakasupakul, who is Miss Grand Chiang Mai. 3rd place in the Best Photo Shoot category at Miss Grand Thailand 2025. How does something like that land locally? Does it mean more than just, a nice picture?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely about local pride, for sure. But events like Miss Grand Thailand, they're also powerful platforms. like cultural exports almost. They draw attention, potential tourists to places like Chiang Mai. They highlight that mix of tradition and sort of modern aspiration. It puts the city on a national stage.
Right, that makes sense. And talking about the local scene, we also saw the CM108 Tea Fest and Chef's Home on charity event. CM108 is a big local media platform, right?
Right.
And they got 7 local chefs cooking for a cause. What did that tell you about community spirit there?
Well, it really speaks volumes about the city's social fabric, I think. Initiatives like this are so important. They don't just raise money for needs, they actively build community bonds. You see local talent pooling together for the common good. It strengthens that collective identity, shows a real proactive approach.
And the art scene seems buzzing, too. There was this report. Backward Broadway, theater night wows, local crowds, Fellowship Café CNX, which sounds like a cool local art spot, hosted this experimental theater piece by Smun Chonburi. That points to a growing vibrancy, doesn't it?
Definitely. It suggests this emerging, maybe even surprising cultural landscape. It's becoming more significant both for locals and visitors. It adds this whole other layer, sophistication, creative energy, alongside the history and the traditional arts everyone knows.
In linking culture back to the economy, there was the tourism caravan rolls on. The TAT, that's the Tourism Authority of Thailand, their caravan, promoting heritage tourism across the north, with Chiang Mai right at the heart of it, really playing up the region's rich heritage.
Yeah, and that's a critical link. Cultural tourism isn't just an economic engine, though it certainly is that. It also plays a huge role in preserving that heritage. It creates this symbiotic relationship. Appreciation fuels protection, encourages sustainability. It's smart.
And finally, one more piece from that window, a show of local solidarity. Maizhou students raised support for soldiers.
Yeah.
University students gathered at Inthanon Stadium, showing support for Thai troops stationed way down near the Cambodia border.
Yeah, that's a fascinating example. It shows how communities connect, express solidarity, even with things happening far away. It really raises that question about how local life and, national concerns intersect, how people engage with the wider world, even from their own city.
It is incredible, isn't it? Just thinking back over that 12-hour slice. The sheer range of things we've touched on. Moments of real tension, environmental pressures, resilience, but then also art, food, community spirit, national pride. It shows how fast a city's story can shift and turn.
It really does. And what's so fascinating, I think, is how all these seemingly separate things, a charity lunch, a beauty pageant photo, border worries, a stalled train line waba, they all somehow weave together. They paint this incredibly vibrant, complex, always changing picture of a city like Chiang Mai. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it, if this much is going on in just half a day, what's the bigger story unfolding over weeks, months, years, not just in Chiang Mai, but any dynamic city? And how do all these little pieces fit into that grander narrative? The story of progress, challenge, and cultural identity.